Hey everybody, Alex Cutler 247 here. Thank you so much for jumping on my first YouTube channel video. And make sure to leave a like, make sure to share. And right at the get-go, I am not a licensed financial advisor. This is purely for entertainment purposes. And let's get into it. Our first video is going to be over the banger Cciv merger with Lucid. So let's get going. What we're going to be covering over the video will be stock movement timeline and fundamentals overview. And then we're going to go into the leadership connections between Churchill Capital 4 to Lucid, as well as Lucid's hints of going public very soon. And then to finish it, we're going to be going over the company analysis of Lucid. So to go into the chart movement, this is from January 11th to now. And right at the beginning, January 11th, Lucid Motors is in talks to list via Michael Klein SPAC Cciv, per Ed Ludlow and Bloomberg, as well as 6 other writers and editors. This is a very big deal. If you pay attention and you realize the credibility of Ed Ludlow as well as fellow writers from Bloomberg, usually when they say something's going to be going in talks, they're going to go public and have an agreement within 20 to 30 days of the in talks article. You can look at past ones, just like E-Lightning Motors, 30 days later, boom. As well as NGA, which is Lion Electric, 30 days later, boom. They have 20 to 30 days from in talks to agreement. And right now we're about to reach pretty close to the 20-day range. So just to kind of think about it, we are getting quite soon to an announcement. So let's keep going. January 12th, Michael Klein fireside talk with IPO Edge, and the interviewer stated that he has received over 60 emails asking him to ask questions about the Lucid Motors situation, and Michael Klein told him that he cannot speak about it right now. He did not confirm nor deny. Neither Michael Klein or Lucid has denied that they are in talks. That's the biggest thing. That's the best thing that you can take from it, is the fact that neither have denied at all. Which usually, if they have no plans to go public whatsoever, they would have denied it. So let's keep going to the next one. So on January 13th, Jim Cramer on Mad Money answered a question.
Recently, a Bloomberg and Reuters report came out saying that Lucid Motors is in talks to go public with Michael Klein SPAC, ticker symbol CCIV.
Yes.
My question is, regardless if this SPAC deal goes through, is Lucid Motors worth it?
Yes. Yes, it's one of the good ones. And I've spent a lot of time on this group. Thank you for this kind comments about 10 years. But I saw the Churchill Capital and I said, darn it all, I wish I hadn't got that one before, because they're very, very smart people. Yeah, I think you're okay there. I think it's a good situation. I know it's speculative, but I think it's good.
And then, on the next day, David Faber had to say this.
More quickly, very much unclear, though, at this point, whether they're going to reach a deal. That's kind of what I wanted to share here.
It's the hottest stock in the market today.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Klein, Andrew Liveris involved, the Saudis. He advised both of them in his other role as a longtime banker. So, yes, no doubt there were relationships there. But getting to a deal here where it would be a transaction through which they would use Churchill 4 to go public at Lucid, what I'm hearing is don't necessarily jump to conclusions at this point based on that Bloomberg story from last week. And I'm going to continue to follow that, and we'll see where that stands. Yeah, it's not. No way is it a done deal. No way.
The stock's up huge on that.
Huge, and that's why I mention it. The stock is up enormously, Jim, at this point.
I said to buy it on Lightning Round last night because I thought that story was spot on and loose.
Well, again, just because you're talking doesn't mean that you're going to get a deal done.
Now, if you paid attention to David Faber, if you looked at him and paid attention to his body language, he obviously had some plan to this, some malcontent, ill will for this to happen. Whether it be himself or his friends, I have some thoughts of this. I believe that he wished that he was in on it, and he's just tired of the SPAC nation. Just basically an old-timer jealous of the success, truthfully. And he has continuously said something about CCIV from the 14th to the 19th. He has said it around 2 to 3 times during squawk on the street, and it seems like he has some personal vendetta against it. Now, which caused a massive drop. If you look at the candlestick as well as the volume, huge drop, which bounced off of the level 2 sub support line, indicated by the orange line. Now, the exact same time that David Faber said that, obviously Seeking Alpha had to say something and just posted a quote-unquote article, which was less than 3 sentences. Again, Seeking Alpha continues to lose some kind of credibility with whatever kind of credibility that they had. They're basically an overblown blog. So, let's move on. Now, on the next day, on January 15th, per source, Lucid plans to go public by April, prior to them beginning the distribution of vehicles in June. Which makes perfect sense. They plan on distributing vehicles by June, and in order for that to happen, for them to hit that timeline of April, they need to go via SPAC. There's no other way. IPO is going to take way too long. It's going to take around 8 to 12 months to make that happen. SPAC's got around a 30-day process, so that makes complete sense for this to happen. And obviously, the company has connections to Churchill Capital, and they already have obviously had this in plans. This makes too much sense. And from January 15th to January 22nd, there was updates passing around throughout the whole internet on PitchBook, which is owned by Morningstar, highly credible source, updated their EV handbook stating that they are in reverse merger process. They wouldn't do that just based off of a rumor, and many others. So on January 22nd, Russ Mitchell at LA Times stated that Lucid Motors prepares to go public thanks to a Saudi money and SPAC mania, in a deal that is near completion, according to a source familiar with the negotiations, which again basically confirmed the credibility of the previous source. Now, don't take this light-handed. Both Ludlow as well as Russ Mitchell have been covering Lucid and have connections with Lucid for the last 3 to 4 years. They know what they're talking about. I know that a lot of Tesla shareholders have a bad taste of Russ Mitchell. I understand that. But Russ Mitchell has been covering Lucid for a very long time, and he has obvious connections. Now, to add a cherry on top of that, at the end of that day, January 22nd, TPG private equity firm is in the lead to buy DirecTV. Basically, in exclusive talks to buy majority stake of DirecTV from AT&T, where previous bearish mindset traders and investors have continuously pushed the idea that DirecTV was still in it. Well, when that was taken away, there was no other target except for Lucid, which caused a major parabolic spike at the end of the day into the after hours. Now, during the weekend, a new article was posted on January 25th, well, actually a little bit earlier, January 25th, by the Financial Times, and then again posted by Bloomberg, stating that the Saudi Wealth Fund is in talks with Lucid for a car factory. Now, huge gap up between that time frame. But I want to push back a little bit on this. Is that this was already in talks. There was an article that was stated by Reuters in December of 2020 or September of 2020. One of the two times, I need to go check it again, is that they were already planning for this to happen for Lucid. They want to help them grow. They put in over $1.5 billion of investment into Lucid, which they own over 67% of the company. So obviously they want to see them perform well and succeed. So they already have a factory in Casa Grande, Arizona, and now they're going to expand into Saudi Arabia. They're going to expand the original factory in Casa Grande to basically be able to have the capabilities of 400,000 vehicles, let me correct myself, and then Saudi Arabia lets add on, let's say, another 400,000 in the next 3 years, making it a major power in the electric vehicle sector. So that's actually a quite big deal. That's why we saw that major gap up, which via the candlestick, it said that it reached a 28.50, but we truthfully saw around $35 spike. Now, during a very bad market, it just so happens that this writer had this article at the ready. The overall market was having a major sell-off, and basically this article amplified it. With no base and no support for any kind of statement, neither Lucid Motors or Churchill Capital has said anything about this, and Rohail Salim has no credibility in this sector or in truthfully overall. He states that Lucid Motors and the SPAC, Churchill Capital 4, may have to delay their merger until negotiations over Saudi production facility conclude. No one has stated that, and I have heard countless amounts of people from Saudi Arabia stating that that is incorrect. The Saudi Arabian people, as well as the Public Investment Fund, want this to happen as quickly as possible. This is already in negotiations. This was already part of the contract of the PIF investing $1.5 billion into Lucid. This is not going to stop anything. It was already happening. So there really is no negotiations happening. It was already in plan. It was part of the negotiations. It was already signed off. They are only trying to find where to place it. Neither here nor there. So I immediately responded stating that this is clear manipulation and there are automatically large buyers ready to jump in and cause another halt. And if you see from my post right afterwards, from Trade with Alerts, large print buys of over $12 million were ready to buy due to that. Provide a huge buy opportunity, and the sharks and whales took advantage of it. So I took that, I made sure to let my followers know that you just take it with a grain of salt, in one ear, out the other, and just move on. So let's go into the connections. So thanks to El Professor from Twitter, he provided a very simple yet effective overall view of the connection between Churchill Capital 4 to Lucid. Now, Michael Klein is the CEO of Cciv, but he's also helped the Saudi Public Investment Fund in previous investments, as well as is assigned as a public advisor, as well as a special advisor for the Public Investment Fund. Now, the major player is Andrew Livris, who is a CCIV operating partner as well as a Lucid chairman, and let's add on to that he's a special advisor for the Saudi Public Investment Fund. Why do I keep on bringing that up? We talked about it. Saudi Public Investment Fund has invested over $1.5 billion into Lucid to help them invest and create that factory. Built up, and the factory in Casa Grande is up and running and ready to go. Revenue timeline. They're going to be distributing vehicles to spring of 2021. Again, like we said during the stock movement, it's going to be June timeframe. Plus, they have exclusive contracts with Formula E Racing Series for battery supply. Pay attention to that. This is a big deal. I want to show you this video so you understand just how innovative and disruptive the technology that Lucid has.
Of the technology, the fact that the battery would only last half race distance. So we changed all that with our Generation 2 battery, more than doubling the capacity of the pack, enabling a full race distance with a single charge. And to the disbelief of many of those deeply involved in the sport, we pulled it off, and the technology that we delivered has had 100% reliability. Our understanding of battery packs through the racing experience has been so augmented that we've been able to feed it back, and now we're seeing a much more advanced beta series Lucid Air with way over 400-mile range. It's the fidelity of that predictive modeling which put us in this ascendant position in motorsport.
All right, I hope that you enjoyed that video. That's a very big deal. That technology is something that Formula E Racing did not have prior to Lucid Motors getting involved. And they brought that technology into the Lucid Air, as well as many future vehicles in the future. Finally, expansion. What's the expansion plan? Are they gonna continue to grow? Like I said, in the infrastructure, they are gonna be expanding at the Arizona factory. They're at current phase 1. They're gonna go to phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4 until they are completed, and they're gonna be able to have the capabilities to build over 400,000 vehicles. As well as they have plans to build a factory in Saudi Arabia. They have already had this plan previously in movement, and once that is completely built, they're going to have the capacity to support over 800,000 vehicles annually. Now, I forgot to add this, let's add on to it, is that via Peter Rawlinson, their CEO, they also want to, after the Arizona factory is completed, as well as the Saudi Arabia factory is built up, they want to build a factory in China. So they're going to be completely international and set up, I expect, by 2025 or 2026. Lucid Motors is a monster, and it's ready to grow and ready to be a mainstay and a top-tier EV company. So thank you guys so much for jumping on. Make sure to leave a like, comment any questions that you guys do have, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.